welcome to the Egyptian Gods and Goddesses YouTube channel. Today we're going to be learning the general facts about the Egyptian gods and goddesses. First, I'm going to tell you about the most important gods and goddesses. There are a lot, so we'll just focus on the most common ones. First, there's Ra. Ra is the sun god of Egypt. Some consider him the king of gods. He is sometimes described as the creator. Ra has a head of a falcon and a sun disk connects to his head. Then there's Osiris. He is the god of the afterlife and death. He is worshipped as one of the most important gods. Osiris has green skin and a beard like those of the pharaohs to symbolize importance. Amun was called the king of the gods and formerly wind god. He had reddish-brown skin and a beard like the pharaohs to symbolize importance. He had plumes on his head to symbolize bird feathers because he was a wind god. Shu is the god of wind and had feathers on his hair symbolizing wind and sky. Mut was the mother goddess. She was like a queen of the gods and a lady of heaven. She has yellow skin and a vulture headdress. Tefnut was the goddess of rain. She was also associated with the moon and sun. Anubis was the god of cemeteries and mummification. He prepared the dead for afterlife. Anubis was pictured with a black head and holding a cross-like piece in his hand. Horus is the god of the sky and kingship. He looked over the kings of Egypt and he had a falcon head. Thoth is the god of knowledge. He had an ibis head and reddish-brown skin. Hathor is the goddess of love, dance, beauty, and females. She had yellow skin like many of the goddesses and blue hair. She also had a sun disk between cow horns on her head. Sekhmet was the goddess of fire and war, as well as healing. She was portrayed as a lioness to display her fierceness. Geb is the god of the earth, as well as crops and farming. He had a bird on his head. I'm going to show you a family tree so you guys can learn more about how the gods are related. Nun is at the top of the family tree. Nun is not really a person. She's more of a concept or idea. But Nun gave birth to Ra, Atum, and Amun. Amun married Mut, and they gave birth to Khonsu. Ra gave birth to Hathor, Sekhmet, Bastet, and Mat. Atum and Amun gave birth to Shu and Tefnut. Shu and Tefnut gave birth to Geb and Nut, who gave birth to Osiris, Isis, Nephisis, Seth, and Khepri. Tauret married Bes when Shu and Tefnut gave birth. Kadash married Reshep when Tauret married Bes. Ptah married Sekhmet and they gave birth to Imhotep and Neferret. Min married Isis. Isis and Osiris gave birth to Horus. Osiris and Nephisis gave birth to Anubis. Nephisis married Seth. Horus and Hathor gave birth to Hapi. Horus and Seth gave birth to Thoth. Thoth married Seshat. Neith and Canaan gave birth to Serket. Canaan and Setet gave birth to Anuket. Some of these gods aren't that familiar, and some of these gods aren't worshipped everywhere. And this is just a general family tree. The gods have many stories that seem different, and this is because most of the stories about the Egyptian gods and goddesses were passed down word of mouth. Some of the details got changed, so no timeline or family tree is exact, and none are the same. There are over 2,000 gods and goddesses in Egypt religion. You might ask why there are so many. This is because there's gods for almost everything in the Egyptian culture. Also, some gods are only worshipped in one town or were worshipped only in one time period. They add to the numbers. Also, gods, just like humans, give birth and have families, so the numbers keep growing and get big. Because gods had unusual powers, they also had unusual events that happened to them. I'm going to tell you a myth of the story of creation. Before there was anything, there was a wastewater called Nun. Out of Nun arose Re. Re could take many forms. He had a secret name which held power. Also, he said, I am Khepra at the dawn, and Re at noon, and Atum at the evening. Because of this, the sun rose, shone, and set every day. Next, Re named Shu, and because Shu was the wind god, there was wind. Then he named Tefnut, and so rain fell. Next he named Geb, and the land formed. He named the goddess Nut, and the sky formed. Then Re named any other thing on earth, including humans. Re then took on the shape of a man and became the first pharaoh, ruling over the whole country. for a long time, and all the people loved him as a pharaoh. But because he was in the form of a man, Ray became old quickly. People started to not follow him anymore because he was old. They even laughed at him. Ray was angry, so he called together the gods who he had made, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, and Nut, and he also called for Nut. The gods met Ray in his secret palace. Ray spoke to Nun in front of all the gods, and he said, "Eldest of the gods, you who made me, and you gods who I have made, look upon mankind who came into being at the glance of my eye. See how men plot against me. Hear what they say of me. Tell me what I should do for them. For I will not destroy mankind until I have heard what you advised." Nun said, "My God Ray, the God greater who made them and mightier than those whom he has created, turn your mighty eye upon them and send destruction upon them in the form of your daughter, the goddess Sekhmet." Ray said, "Even now fear is falling upon them, and they are fleeing into the hiding themselves in the mountains and terror at the sound of my voice. Send against them the glance of your eye in the form Sekhmet," said all the gods. Sekhmet was the fiercest of all gods. She killed all the people who had jeered at Ray. She was happy when she killed them. Ray asked Sekhmet what she had done. Sekhmet said, "By the life which you have given me, I have indeed done vengeance on mankind, and my heart rejoices." Then the Nile ran red with blood, and Sekhmet's feet were red as she kept killing. Then one day Ray looked at the towns and was unhappy with the absence of people, even though the men had been mean to him. But Sekhmet was too fierce to stop. Ray sent for messengers to get a lot of beer and dye it like blood. Then he sent all of it into a village, so when Sekhmet arrived, there was beer that looked like blood. She thought it was blood of people she had killed, so she drank it all and laughed. She drank so much beer that she could not kill anyone else. She came to Ray, and she had not killed anyone. Everyone was now saved because she couldn't kill anyone, and Ray continued to rule. He would only stop if someone found out the secret to his name. Geb and Nut had children. The youngest was Isis. Isis was very wise. One day, Ray spat on the ground, and Isis knew power was in Ray, so she took the mud Ray had spit on and made it into a snake, the first of them all. One day, Ray got bit on by the snake. He cried out for help, and Isis came. Isis asked his power name, and Ray told her. The power passed into her heart, and Ray went into heaven instead and transferred out of his human form. That is how he is now a god in heaven. Class is dismissed. Here is my bibliography of sites I use so you can learn more and know where I learned all my information about Egyptian gods and goddesses.